January 3rd, 2022. The time is 5:01 p.m. The meeting is being live streamed and will be made available on the district website. Our mission is to provide a safe and caring climate and culture in which we engage, inspire, educate, prepare, and empower all learners in partnership with their surrounding community to be successful in today's and tomorrow's society. Les, will you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you, Les. And then can you call roll, please?
Scott Andreasen.
Here.
Zach Dorholt. Here. Les Green is here.
Here.
Natalie Ringsmuth.
Here.
Following board members are not present: Monica Segura Schwartz. The following cabinet members and staff are present at the District Administration Office: Superintendent Willie Jett, Assistant Superintendent of Secondary Education, Dr. Lori Putnam, Executive Director of Operations, Gary Ganji, Media Technicians, Paul Novak and Gordy Scott, and custodian on site is Steve Hain. Following cabinet members are virtually present: Executive Assistant Jan McGuire.
Thank you.
Dr. Green, you forgot me. Here.
Hang on just a minute, sir. Al Dahlgren.
Here.
All right.
It's cold out there. All right, thanks, Les. Okay, then I'm looking for approval of tonight's Board of Education reorganization meeting agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Natalie and a second by Scott. Les, can you please call roll?
Natalie Ringsmuth.
Yes.
Shannon Hall. Les Green is yes. Zach Dorholt. Al Dahlgren.
Yes.
Scott Andreasen.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, moving on then. First up, we have election of officers for 2022. And 4 positions. We'll start with chairperson and get nominations. If we have more than one nomination, we'll vote by person's name, who you're voting for. If it's just one nomination, we'll vote yes or no. So first up is chairperson. And while I have the microphone, go ahead, Al.
I nominate Shannon Haas.
There you go.
I second Shannon Hawes.
And then, so leaving it open for, are there any other nominations? Okay, so I think we have a motion by Al and a second by Les. Les, can you please call roll?
Al Dahlgren.
Yes.
Scott Andreasen. Zach Dorholt. Les Green is yes. Shannon Hawes.
Yes.
Natalie Ringsmuth.
Yes.
Okay. Then next up is the vice chairperson, and I would like to nominate Al Dahlgren.
I'll second that.
Any other nominations? Okay, a motion by Shannon, a second by Les. Les, can you please call roll?
Shannon Hawes.
Yes.
Natalie Ringsmuth.
Yes.
Scott Andreasen. Dahlgren.
Yes.
Zach Dorholt. Les Green is yes.
Thank you. Next up is clerk, and I would like to nominate Les. That job is harder than it looks.
Second.
Any other nominations? Okay, so we have a motion by Shannon, a second by Scott for clerk for Dr. Les Green. Les?
Shannon Hawes.
Yes.
Natalie Ringsmuth.
Yes.
Les Green is yes. Zach Dorholt. Al Dahlgren.
Yes.
Scott Andreasen.
Yes.
Okay, and last one up for tonight is treasurer.
I'll nominate Scott Andreasen.
I'll second that. Any other nominations? Okay, one more time, Les, can you please call roll?
Dahlgren,
Yes.
Scott Andreasen,
Yes.
Zach Dorhold. Les Green is yes. Shannon Hawes,
Yes,
Natalie Ringsmuth.
Yes.
thank you. And Jan, I'm not sure if you caught that. That was a nomination by Al and a second by Shannon for treasurer. Okay, moving on to number 3 is an action item, remuneration for board members. We have 5 items typed out here on the agenda. Want to clarify that the current 2021 monthly compensation is $786.71 for board chair and $684.54 for other board members. The numbers that were listed were from 2 years ago, and all the other numbers stay the same. Al, go ahead.
Madam Chair, I would move that we change the compensation as we have with past practice at the same rate as the average of all of the contracts for this year. And checking with Amy, that rate was 2.5%. It was a 2.5% increase. So the new rate would be for the board chair, 806.38, and for the board members, 701.65. So my motion is to change the board compensation to 806.38 and 701.65.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Al and a second by Scott to approve as listed with the changes of those 2 numbers. Is there any further discussion? Okay, last will you please call roll?
Al Dahlgren,
Yes.
Scott Andreasen,
Yes.
Zach Dorhold. Les Green is yes. Shannon Hawes,
Yes,
Natalie Ringsmuth.
Yes.
thank you. Next up is another action item. Time, date, and place for regular meeting of the Board of Education is set. The Board of Education meeting structure consists of 1 work session and 1 business meeting monthly. A brief board meeting is followed by a board work session, which is held on the first Wednesday of the month at 6:30 p.m. unless otherwise noted. And the regular board meeting is held on the 3rd Wednesday of the month at 6:30 p.m. unless otherwise noted. Both meetings are held at the District 742 Administration Office and are live streamed. And the proposed meeting schedule for 2022 is attached online and was passed out to everybody. I'm looking for a motion to approve the 2022 time, date, and place
So moved.
meetings.
So move.
So I have a motion by Natalie and a second by Scott. Is that correct? Okay, all right. Les, will you please call roll?
Natalie Ringsmuth, Scott Andreasen,
Yes.
Al Dahlgren,
Yes.
Zach Dorhold. Les Green is yes. Shannon Hawes.
Yes. Okay, item number 5, appointments by board chair, Board of Education standing committees. In front of you, you see the standing committees that were done for 2021, and I am presenting tonight that we keep the committees as is for the 2022 calendar year, and as outlined below. And this is just an appointment, not an action item. Any discussion? Okay. Item number 6, appointment by board chair, school board appointments to district committees and organizations. Attached, we have the 2021 appointments, and again, recommending or presenting tonight that the assignments for the school board members stay the same. Jan has updated the far right column of the attachment onto the agenda that has who, if there were any changes in 2021, when it was presented a year ago, that we had a few changes administration-wise. And so those are currently updated. So we'll just stay assigned for the school board members on those assignments. Any questions on that?
No change then.
No change, right. The only changes that we did see on there, we'll change the year to 2022, and then there was a few, like Marcia might have been on something. Okay. Okay, item number 7, school board and school liaison, well, the procedures are in board policy 213.2. And the school assignments, again, recommending that they stay the same. This is identified as an information or action item. I don't believe that we've ever voted on it before. I think it's just an information item. Al, do you remember? I don't think we voted on the school assignments. Who has tech, who has South? Okay. And so those were attached to the agenda, and they will stay the same as last year. Next up, number 8, information item, conflict of interest, school board members as following board policy 210. So everybody should have in front of them tonight, I believe. Yep, per board policy 210, at the reorg meeting, everybody can please fill one of these out, and then I'll take them and collect them here in this folder. We'll get one to Monica and give those to Jan. Okay, and then last up is item 9, which is the consent agenda. And on the consent agenda that we're going to approve tonight, we have item A, board designates the official newspaper, which is the St. Cloud Times. Item B, board appoints legal counsel as defined here. Item C is signature plates. Item D, authorization to make payment prior to the board meeting. Item E, designation of Amy Scalarud, Executive Director of Finance and Business Services. Item F, designation of Willie Jett, Superintendent. Item G, authorization to make investments, transfers, and withdrawals. Item H, authorization to stop stop payments, excuse me. Item I, authorization to make telephone and wire transfers and electronic fund transfers. Item J, authorization for David Cooney, Controller. Item K, authorization to make purchases by credit card. Item L, authorization to authorize user access to secure website. Item M, Chair signature policy. Item N, Board designates depositories and as defined. And that is it on the consent agenda. Looking for a motion to approve. Okay,
I would like to remove item B, number 5,
okay,
and possibly bring that back to a later meeting.
sure. So we're going to remove item B5 and approve everything but B5, correct? Is it,
Correct.
okay, so look, so is,
That's the motion that you're looking for, and then,
yes.
and then we'll have discussion.
Okay, so so I'm looking for, then we're removing B5, looking for a motion to approve the consent agenda minus B5.
So moved. I'm sorry, second.
That works? Okay, so a motion by Al, a second by Les. Any discussion?
Yeah, I just want to say, I was just looking at the rates on the attorneys. You know, I always take a peek at them just to see how much they're going up, and they're all going up a little bit, around 5-10%. But on this particular one, their rate isn't going up out of whack, but their rate for H-1Bs is going from $4,000 to $5,000, or $3,500 to $4,000, which is a pretty significant increase. And I don't know how many of them we do. If we do one per year, it's a $500 increase. It's not a big deal. If we do 100 of them a year, it's a big deal, and it is a significant increase. At which point we should probably take and bid it instead of just approving it in a consent agenda. So, and I did ask Tracy, but I did not get she responded that she was driving and couldn't answer. She didn't know when she was driving. And it was an hour before the meeting, so it's not fair to say that she didn't respond either.
So good concern there to point out. How would you like to move forward? What are your thoughts? Is this something you want to hold off with, or just leave as is for this year and then do some
My
research?
thoughts are that we would just, what's the word I'm looking for? Table it
Okay,
until the next meeting, which would be on Wednesday,
okay,
which would give us time to look to see how many. And I'm assuming that we probably don't do very many of them, but it's still a significant increase. And it stood out like a sore thumb, so.
okay. So if we approve everything but B5.
Right, so I would have to make a motion to table B5.
Okay, and then how would you like it presented on Wednesday? We're going to find out the answer. Do you want it on as a discussion item? Do you want it on the consent agenda and everybody will know the number? Or where should Jan put it? If we are in fact going to bring it, table it until
I would say it
Wednesday?
should be a discussion item,
Discussion
or
item,
an action item.
an action, yes.
Yep.
Okay,
So that they can present what it is.
okay. So I'm correct in then repeating that you are making a motion to table item B5 and add it to an action item for our January 5th board meeting?
Yes.
Okay,
That's my motion.
Madam Chair, don't we already have an open motion for everything else but B5?
sure, okay.
So we can't,
So let's, shall we call roll on the consent agenda of everything but B5 that we're approving, the consent agenda, all but B5?
Al Dahlgren,
Yes.
Scott Andreasen,
Yes.
Zach Dorhold. Les Green is yes. Shannon Hawes.
Yes,
Natalie Ringsmuth.
yes.
okay. Now standing on sitting on the table is B5.
Now I would move that we table B5 until Wednesday, January 5th.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Al and a second by Natalie. Les, can you please call roll?
Al Dahlgren. Al Dahlgren.
Yes.
Natalie Ringsmuth.
Yes.
Shannon Hawes.
Yes,
Les Green is yes. Zach Dorhold. Scott Andreasen.
Yes.
I think that's a wrap. Meeting is adjourned. It's 5:19 PM. Have a good night. See you on Wednesday.
All set?